recap. Oh, I'm downstream. No one jump all at once. Okay. Ashley is void from doing it because she did such a great job last time.
I was going to say, I could probably do it now that I have been filled in on the tiny bit that I left. I can't promise it's super detailed, but I have notes.
Hey, do what you gotta do.
Alright, so we started last session with Willa and Cal sort of having a heart-to-heart. Everybody's on the boat, sort of off to themselves. And once again, Willa is sort of like freaking out about this whole magic thing. Is like ensuring that Cal actually will still want to be with her. And he's fully all for it, super supportive boyfriend. Like, Cal has thumbs up in my book. Then they start a conversation with Ray about what their intentions are. It's brought up that, the main goal of the group right now is to understand what the darkness is and destroy it, or at least get rid of it. It is explained to us that Tremaine is working with a group called the Court of Night, and is bringing in all of the magic users to some place called Kansas. And as we continue trying to get more information out of Ray, we get attacked not only by a giant storm-bringing lizard in the form of an alligator, but also Nix, who has finally caught up with us. So everybody starts panicking just the tiniest bit, like, okay, who do we attack, who do we go? We start attacking. Unbeknownst to us, probably not a good idea to hit it with certain types of magic because it made the water go a little bit more rough than what we hoped for, and we all went overboard. So after that, we all sort of get not drowned necessarily, but overtaken by this weird sensation that goes with the water, and find ourselves in basically a hole that we can't get out of. Luckily, Willa, with her fantastic tracking survival skills, was able to find a hole for us to crawl through, and we start our way through this dungeon-esque type area. Trying to find my place in the notes. The first room we come into, big room full of pillars. In the middle, there is this pool of extremely blue, crystal clear water with blue crystals all over the place. After some investigation, we found out that all of the inscriptions around were in a very, 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 very ancient combination of Fey, Elven type language. We find an arrow pointing down, and Sarah goes ahead and puts water breathing on all of us so we can go down. As we do that, we make it into another room with a giant stone dais in it, and a big mural depicting a huge gate with a hand reaching out of it, a green being in front of it, and 5 dead bodies, which is a little concerning. But as we go through and start decoding some of the wording around, not only do we find out that the gate is what will be used to bring back Oknos, where we have no idea where this gate is, but there is a gate, and that is how he is to be brought back. And then we saw a depiction of 5 different catastrophic events.
You can say that, yeah.
Which was a forest fire, a giant wave, if I'm remembering correctly, a tsunami, a giant tornado, and eternal twilight, which we were all a little, oh, that's not good. As we were looking at the dais more, we noticed that there were 3 rings that could be moved around. We discovered out of, I think it was Trigg's memory, it was Trigg or Willa, I can't remember, remembered that Elliot on one of his books had a constellation that we could actually make. We ended up making that, and lo and behold, a secret passageway, and little basin comes up with a dagger. Wait, yes.
Mm-hmm.
We all sort of debate for a while whether we should take it, who should take it, and things like that. It ends up Willa decides that she will go ahead and take the risk of taking it out and holding it. After nothing bad happens to Willa, we're like, okay, this is good, and then a passageway shows up. We go ahead and go through there to another room that's sort of collapsed in on itself. Oh, wait, no. we had to jump across the pillars first. We go to a room, it's falling apart. To get across to the light on the other side, we have to jump over pillars. Most of us successfully do it. Tara had a little bit of problems, and Mira got frozen in stage fright, basically, in the middle of it as it started to crumble, and managed to barely make it across with everybody's encouragement. On the other side, they make it to a room with a giant mummy. After contemplating the morals of moving said mummy or destroying it, or what would happen, because we're all a little skittish at this point, because we have what has been told to us is the key of bringing back Oknos, we decide to move the poor mummy, that we later find out is a fairy godmother. But it sort of falls apart. Sarah's feeling bad. We go through, and lo and behold, we have done the dirty work for a villain and gotten the key to bring back Oknos out for Lady Tremaine. And after completely paralyzing the group and trying to get a couple of us to talk, she manages to, I think it was Anastasia, was able to find the dagger on Willa, and we started the apocalypse. Everything's on fire.
The cleansing.
That's what happened in Everas.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened, and then Lady Tremaine, she's like, I want to play a game, like, we'll see what you can do, and she gives back the dagger to you guys, and the forest erupts in fire, and they all kind of go into the forest and disappear behind the fire and stuff like that, and you're still frozen in that. I know, I'm so sorry, that was so loud. You're still paralyzed with whatever bits of spore, magic, whatever it is, and it's getting hotter and hotter, and sweat starts to drip down your face, and finally the spell relinquishes, gaining you control back over yourselves, and you are completely surrounded by this forest fire, and you're backed up against basically a cliff. What do you
do? Does anybody can control water? And she's like stuttering on her words, like extremely just not sure what to do.
Sarah probably would have jumped right into action and tried to control water right away. Put the force out. Like, it's literally hurting her to see this.
So, you're casting the spell?
Yeah, shape water.
Okay. So you're starting to put out, some parts of the fire, but then just other parts of the forest are getting involved, and it's becoming overwhelming. The smoke, the heat is really starting to get to you guys. You just need to run.
I don't think we can put it out. I think we need to go.
Is there any way that anybody else has shape water? We have to stop this destruction. We have to stop the end of this world.
No, I don't know it, and I don't want to cast magic anyway. We have to go, Willa.
Sarah's gonna be like in front of the group, like crying now, trying to still endlessly put it out, casting Druidcraft, making it rain. I know it's helpless, but she's just doing things while you guys decide what to do.
I'm gonna start looking for a safe escape route. Like, is there, like, can we go down the cliff? Could we go, like, alongside the cliff? Is there anywhere that's less on fire than the rest of it?
Roll survival.
15?
Okay. So you're kind of watching your friends either terrified in the spot, trying to put out these fires, or just looking for other things to keep yourselves together. You finally see that there is a small chance, if you were to run, you can make it through without burning yourselves. You do look to Trig, who Trig looks very terrified at this moment because vampires are extremely flammable. So he's looking a little worse for wear as he sees the fire erupt around him. But Tara, you do see there is a pathway that you have to take the chance. You cannot wait any longer.
Guys, we have to just make a run for it right now. We have to go. Or else we're gonna die and then we're not gonna be able to stop any of it.
Laura agrees, and she looks back around everybody, and then she looks down at the ground where the blade is, and she shakes her head. She's like, "Someone needs to grab it. I can't."
Hold on, sorry. Someone needs to grab what? What are you looking at?
The blade, the dagger.
I'll grab it. I'm gonna grab it and I'm gonna look at the group and say we have to go, and I'm gonna cast kind of an apologetic look at Trig and start. We need to go, guys. I'm gonna run.
Mary's gonna grab Sarah by the shoulders and is like, "Come on, there's nothing we can do right now."
Sarah gives a little nod, but then she goes behind Trig and she pushes him forward and she'll whisper "I protect you," and put shape water on him instead.
Okay. So, go ahead. Go ahead.
Like, are you actually forming water around him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because it hasn't been 24 hours yet, so he could still technically breathe in it.
Breathe, yeah.
Okay. I just was trying to get the image clear in my head for a second.
Okay. So, everyone roll an athletics check.
A what check?
Athletics.
Athletic, okay.
And then
I gotta turn down fire.
Oh yeah.
I got a 7.
Well, I'll let you know the below and aboves. Okay.
I got a 10.
21.
Okay. If you are higher than a 13, you're able to manage to get your way through the fire unscathed. If you got a 12 or below, you'll be taking 1d4 fire damage from either a passing branch, limb falling, just kind of catching yourself on for the embers and things like that. Allie, what did you get?
I got a 13 exactly.
Okay, so you're good. You're safe. So you're starting to see trampling wildlife and steer and deer running through the forest as they are terrified of this forest being on fire. The birds are flying away. The little woodland creatures. Maybe you're seeing pixies and sprites fly off. Some are being burnt to a crisp, and you feel awful because you can't save them. And you're starting to realize that this is your fault, and that starts to take guilt onto you. Eventually, you all finally make your way to a little bit of clearing in the forest. You can hear a stream or a water flowing from where you are around, and then you hear something coming from the bushes, from the underbrush of the forest to your right-hand side.
Willa takes her bow out and she points it to the bush.
Okay. Did she say anything?
Guys, get behind me. Who knows what it is?
I'm gonna back up and get behind Willow.
Mira's gonna, seeing Willa get out her bow, is gonna go ahead and pull out her light crossbow and sort of get it prepped too.
It might be Tremaine.
Sarah is numbly looking at the fire they just left, feeling completely hurt.
So, as you kind of all aim your weapons and stuff like that towards the underbrush of the bush, you finally see something pop out. It is a human. It's a woman. She has blonde hair, and it's Ella. And she goes, wait, don't shoot.
Ella, what are you doing here? And Willa will lower her bow and put it away.
Okay. She looks tired. She looks devastated. She looks like a drowned, harassed rat at this time, and she looks down towards the river, and she says, Tremaine and the others, they went that way. They have Elliot and Hemlock and Jupiter and Cal. I watched it happen. Ray and the others, they've already gone downriver.
Who all does do they have? Sorry, you cut off halfway.
Lady Tremaine, she has Elliot and Hemlock and Jupiter and Cal. She took them.
And the people from the WLF just left? They just left
They-
us?
They went after her.
Oh,
We have to go.
yeah,
There's nothing we can do to stop this fire.
but
Okay. Where did this fire come from?
Willa closes her eyes and kind of her head falls a little bit.
We don't know for sure. All we know is we need to get them right away.
yeah, let's go. Let's go right now.
I think they were headed to Salem.
Great.
We have to go. We have to save them.
How are you going to get there?
I have no idea.
Well, I think I have a little bit of magic left. I remember this as my fairy godmother taught it to me. She pulls something out of her bag, and it's a small little gourd. And she tosses up into the air, and it transforms itself into a carriage. And it sits right along the river path, and she kind of brushes herself off, and she's like, "It's self-guided."
So, it goes on its own?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's perfect. And Willow will run up and she hugs her. And she's just like, we can do it. We can beat them to Salem if we go fast enough.
Okay. Let's go. Everyone in. Is everyone safe?
For the most
For the most part.
All right, so you all get into the carriage, and the carriage door closes, and then it starts making its way down the path at a rapid speed. Ella, she looks very nervous. She's exhausted. She's been through a lot, same as you guys, and she's like, "We'll be at Salem soon. This road heads right into the city."
We have to get rid of the carriage before we come into the view of the city, though. The guards would think it's magic.
Yeah, that's fine. We can do that.
I can't let Cal get arrested.
Yeah.
Any of them, really. If what Ray said is true and they're rounding up everybody, Hemlock and Jupiter and Elliot, they're all equally as in danger as Cal.
Yeah, you're right. I shouldn't just, yeah.
I feel like this is all my fault. If I had just gone through with the harvest ritual, none of this would have happened.
That is true.
Sarah's gonna be like, says the one who won't give her rid of her magic.
We don't need to fight about this now. Ella, you did what you thought was true to your heart. There's no going back now. We've all made mistakes.
If anything, you gave us more time. If Tremaine would have had this power at, the harvest before any of us were even trying to do this, who knows if this wouldn't happen 2 years ago.
Yeah, I guess you're right. So, tell me again about how you feel like that fire was you, Willa?
I took the dagger from the crypt, and I didn't hide it well enough. And as soon as we got out of the ruins and escaped, Lady Tremaine was there waiting for us. We basically brought her and gift wrapped the dagger for her. She said it was the key to opening the gate for Oknos. And then a huge fire erupted. We were frozen. We couldn't do anything to stop her. It was magic like anything I've seen. She's very powerful, but I had the dagger. She wouldn't have been able to start with these horrible events if it was not for me.
You said you have the dagger? May I see it?
I couldn't touch it again.
It's still wrapped up in cloth, right? I'll take it out and unwrap it and show it to her.
Elle looks it over and she said, there was a drawing of this in a book I had taken from the library. It was an old book that I kept in my room. This is an old language. I had to get it translated. But it talked about something called the cleansing. Basically, these catastrophes and cataclysms that wipe the world clean.
Yeah, that's what we found in that cave, too. That's the same kind of story.
So this is a part of it.
Yeah.
I don't know how to stop it. I never got that
We
far in
didn't
the
know.
book.
Do you still have the book?
No, I left it back in my room before I left.
I don't know what to do. But when we found the dagger, it said that this was it was the key to the cleansing. It was the key to Oknos' heart.
We thought keeping it safe with us would make sure it didn't get into their hands.
Well, you said it was a key, right?
I guess so. That's what the inscription said.
Well, keys do two things. Unlock and lock. So, maybe there's a way that we can stop this.
I just don't understand why Tremaine gave it back to us. That makes me feel very nervous. What did she
Tremaine?
mean?
She always believes that she's one step ahead of everybody else. She plays with people. She plays mind games.
Is she? One step ahead of us, I mean?
Sometimes I feel like that. She might be, but we won't know for sure.
Well, I'll keep it safe. I'll keep it as hidden as I can until we know what to do with it. I don't know how to stop this. But that fire, I've never seen anything like that before.
It's only going to get worse from here.
Did Tremaine do something with it, guys? Like, if you're right, Ella, that this is a key and can close and open things. Did we open something taking it out to where we have to put it back? Or did she do something that we might be able to redo backwards or something?
Reverse? possible. Well, we'll know in a matter of minutes. Salem is on the horizon. And she points out the carriage window, and you can see the city of Salem that sits along the coastline. It looks like most of the plants and trees and everything like that has died or decayed. Just feels like energy has been sapped from the city. It feels neglected in a sense and abandoned almost. And this Salem used to be once a very bustling harbor town, and it doesn't feel like life is there anymore. Ella has the carriage slow down upon a ridge, and there's a pathway down into the city. She's the first to get out, and she kind of straightens her, self out, and her blue cloak and robes, and she ties back her long blonde hair, and she looks at you guys, waiting for you to come out. Yes, Ashley?
Before that, just for a second, can Sarah do like an insight check privately on her, like looking her up and down? Because last that we knew, she was still cursed and like not okay.
Sure.
21.
Yeah, so you can see that Ella is being very genuine. You vaguely remember Fairy Godmother doing something for Ella to try to eradicate the kind of curseness that she had, and you remember Fairy Godmother saying that true love's like an act of true love will break her curse for her. So it looks like she's fighting back, like she's exhausted and, like I said, puffy eyes and all that, but she's not stopping. She's doing what's right.
You said that everything in the area seemed dead and like there was a lack of energy and all that. Does it seem as natural as that could be in nature, or does this seem to be some sort of magical thing outside of the city?
This is some type of magical thing. This is not a normal nature-looking act that happens in the wild.
Bella gets out of the carriage. She looks around. She says, "Do you know if there's any security at the front gates? We got some items on us."
I haven't been back to Salem in the past 2 years either.
Okay.
I don't know if we should go in with any magical items. I mean, obviously except for the ones that we can't avoid leaving behind, but I think it's probably safe to assume that if things are worse, they're probably stricter.
What am I going to do with my magic?
I don't know, but don't you remember last time we were going in how upset they got just about, like, a little potion?
In the letter.
Yeah, I'm sure that they're probably not going to be, easier on us this time.
It doesn't
Trey.
make sense to me. Yep.
With the wall around the city, is it a really thick wall where there's like an actual area you can walk across the top on guard duty?
Mhm.
Okay. Never mind then.
You're fine. Ella looks, and she's like, it doesn't make sense to me. I mean, Lady Tremaine's a witch. Why is she trying to imprison other supernaturals, Les Charmants?
It's been like that for a while.
I don't know, because she's kind of a bitch.
Probably
the
taking
source of
people's magic.
competition.
Good theories, but Ella looks down at the city, and she notices at the front gate, there's no guards or anything. And she looks down, she says, Salem usually is heavily guarded, especially when King Lorvis is in town. I've been watching, but I don't see anyone.
They probably already know that we're here because, I mean, look at this. There's obviously magic present.
Yeah, I don't feel good about that. I don't like that.
It's always a trap.
What if we try to go in through the docks? Swim our way to the bridge, or not to the bridge, but to the dock and get in that way.
I just dried off.
The
I'm
dock
sorry.
in running water. I'm gonna pass.
Yeah, I don't want to get back in the water. My dress is still kind of wet.
Well, then let's waltz through the front door.
What else? I mean, if they know we're
might-
here.
It might be a bad idea, but what if everybody who has the magic items, or can give up the magic items, to one group to go through the waterway, and the other goes through the front group and we just meet somewhere? I
Don't
don't
think
like
it
the
was
idea of separating, but at the same time, if we're worried about things being discovered and this possibly being a trap, I mean, it might be useful to at least have the things that could get us in trouble more hidden.
That's actually a good idea, because then if something happens to some of us, the rest of us could help them instead of, our whole group getting taken down at once.
Or
I'm willing to get
die
back in the
at
water.
bottom.
I didn't hear you, Trey.
Or they die and we have no idea.
Well, I mean,
Well, but-
isn't it better that all of us die?
I would say strength in numbers.
Okay, well,
Together.
oh, you're right. Last time we split up, it wasn't a good idea. Let's just go face first, and if something happens, we know where the supernaturals are going, so.
Well, should we leave our magic items that we could part with out here? Maybe we could hide them by the carriage.
Sarah's just gonna be like, I think we should just take everything. No matter what, they know we're here.
And who says
We're
we're
already
going to come
doomed.
back out?
I agree with Sarah.
Okay.
Okay.
Question, DM.
Huh?
With us leveling up, do we have our new spells, or do we have to wait till we actually rest?
Wait for your long rest.
Okay. I had meld into stone, which would have been really useful.
Oh, I have
Yeah.
that.
Ella,
Oh.
she kind of looks at you all and she's like, I haven't known you all for very long, but I know that you embody good and light. I can sense it in you. My mother taught me when I was young how to see that in people. And I feel like this is slowly wrapping up to the end of our story together. I just want to say that I'm sorry that this is my fault. And this whole time I know you guys have probably been looking for me, and with Jupiter and Hemlock and Nathaniel, and rest in peace Fiona, but I just want to say that I'm sorry, but I'm happy that we were all able to get back together.
Nobody's blaming anybody.
Mm-mm.
Choices were made. And whether it's fully in our control or not, actions happen. That's how life is. It is not Willa's fault. It is not your fault. It is nobody's fault what's happening right now.
We gotta fix
Sure.
it.
Trick is gonna kind of grimace and give Mira a look like, really? Really? Are we not faulting anyone?
Tara is going to turn to Ella and say, Do you even think that about me? What you
What?
said about the light? About good?
I think that at the end of the day there's good in everyone, and there's bad in everyone. And we have to find a way to balance that. Some are more dark than others, and some are more light than others. But even though you're a Ravenswood and our covens are supposed to hate each other, I still think that you're awesome. You've clearly shown your worth. And just from the brief stories that I've heard about you, being kidnapped by Nyx and raised by her, and then choosing the side of light, I think that speaks volume in itself.
Thanks, Ella.
You're welcome. Just have courage and be kind, right?
You too.
Are we doing this?
We're doing this.
I think so.
Sarah's gonna like clench her fists, sigh, and then like walk without saying anything.
Okay.
Like head held raised.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, okay. So you guys head down the pathway and towards the front gates of Salem. The wood of the front gates are old and mildewy looking. They have been gone without repair for a long time. And you can't even hear anyone on the other side of the gates, where on a normal day, even a slow day, you could at least hear some type of buzzing activity of a city. The front gates seem to be locked, but has anyone tried to open the door?
I will.
Do you push it open? You pull it open? Do you look for a little slot?
I'll push it open at first.
Okay. Can you roll a strength check?
17.
You're able to push open the front gate of the doors, and that sickening like crunch and creak of the doors opening, revealing an abandoned Salem.
Guys,
At least a darker version of itself.
where is everybody?
This is even worse than they described it.
You're seeing a lot of the taverns and bars and storefronts and homes boarded up. You're seeing tons and tons of going out of business, painting signs. You're seeing non-magical propaganda and stuff like that. Like see a witch like report it to the Nightingales, the New Order of Nightingales, and things of that nature. Like if you're a magic user, turn yourself in or suffer the consequences. Just awful propaganda as you kind of mill your way throughout the streets, and then eventually you come across a notice board, the same notice board that you found when you first were in Salem. It has been torn apart by like everything on it except for 5 posters, 5 wanted posters for each and every one of them, for treason against the kingdom.
Mira instinctively is going to put up her hood.
I'm gonna rip my poster down and stuff it in my bag. And then, following Mira's idea, I have my red shawl, and I'm gonna use that to like wrap over my head as well and kind of disguise myself a little bit.
Sure. Okay.
Leia takes out a dagger, and she is gritting her teeth with frustration. And she goes and she takes her dagger and stabs each one of the wanted posters, and just like this, so like it's torn to pieces. The wanted posters. And she puts her dagger away.
Do we have anywhere safe to go?
What about with Ronnie and Noah?
If they're still here.
But what if we put them in danger?
Exactly.
Let's just walk to it and see it if it's still up.
Okay. You guys start to head through this kind of war-torn Salem. You're starting to see a little bit more people now. They all look dull and drab and in rags. They're no longer wearing good clothing anymore. Like, Salem is no longer this bustling city. Everyone just looks disheveled and heartbroken and war-torn. In the distance, you see where the Broken Wheel Tavern is, and you see that there's something around the windows. They're all burnt out, like blown out, with no glass and everything. And the top half of the building is burnt. The smell of embers and char kind of fill your nose as you approach, and then you see that on the front door there is a sign, by order of the Nightingales, the New Order of Nightingales. This place has been condemned.
I hope we're okay.
This is so bad. I never expected to come back and find it like this. I mean, I know what everyone's been saying, but this is so
Sarah's going to like turn away from the building and then mutter and be like, let's have them find us. Let them find us.
That's not necessarily the best strategic thing, though. I know you're angry, but if we're wanted and we have the key they need, who knows what game she wants to play? Maybe she wants to play a game of cat and mouse. It's not a very good game if we just walk into the cat's mouth.
I don't like that idea, Sarah. That scares me.
But look how many people are dying because of us.
I know,
And then what was the
but
point of coming here?
Because of me.
I don't want
She's my stepmother. She doesn't know that I'm still alive. I say we waltz up in there.
You want to just go straight in?
What are we gonna do after this happens to the rest of the world? The world is ending. This is all we got.
I guess we have nothing to lose.
Oh. Sarah, I believe you're with me of going there, and everyone else?
I think it's maybe not the strongest laid plan, but I'm going where you guys are going.
I don't know what's the right thing to do. I'll just stay with you guys. I mean, I'll do whatever I can, Ella. I know how scary this must be for you.
I'm sure it's scary for you all. This is our new reality. And if I know you all say it's not my fault, but I can't help but take some blame. This ends with me. This ends with us. Let's go. So you all head towards the Winter Palace, the huge castle that resides in Salem. And you can see that this is about the only thing that has stayed normal throughout the time in Everas, or in Salem. And the front gates, you see, there are no guards. It's just weird. It's just something that is just not normal, and something just feels unsettlingly not right. But you all trudge on forward. Ella opens the front doors of the palace, and there's this long hall, this long corridor, which opens up into an even larger ballroom. There is in this ballroom, there's these 3 huge chandeliers that emit an eerie low glow, and at the end of the hall is this huge, colorful, cathedral-like stained glass, depicting different creatures and cities and just the world of Everas, just this beautifully, whimsically done stained glass thing. At the end of the hall, you see a large black throne with 2 smaller thrones on either side. On the right-hand side, you see a deep maroons and purples and pinks woman in a dress. In the one to the left, you see emeralds and teals and ceruleans and blues of the woman wearing the dress. And in the center, you see a woman wearing a deep burgundy corset and tight dress with a large collar and a grayed out hair with one central white streak puffed up in almost a heart shape on her head. It's Lady Tremaine and Anastasia and Drizella. They all just are sitting there like very like pompous looking. And Lady Tremaine, she looks down the hall at you all. She goes, well, well, well. Look who we have here. Come to enjoy the surroundings, loves. And there's a super long pause. No one speaks.
I was gonna say I want to talk, but I'm like, I'm not playing T3. I'm playing Mira. Mira wouldn't say shit.
I'm
I think
probably just glaring at Tremaine. I'm not ready to speak.
Sarah, I think, is going to speak. She would speak. She's so angry right now. Sarah's going to march right up to her, and like as she walks, she's going to turn not into like her fayish form instead to like be like, "Hey, boom, magic, bitch," type of thing. And she's going to be like, "Reverse what you did."
Why? Why should I?
Because my kind, my people, they're going to die.
Well, someone has to protect them. And that's what I'm doing.
By causing some genocide? Are you just killing the humans for fun now and protecting, quote unquote, she's like quoting, protecting magic users by keeping them in prison in Kansas?
Well, you do realize that in this entire time since the New Order of Nightingales have taken over King Lorv's kingdom, not a single one of our kind has been killed in Salem or anywhere else in the Western Kingdom. Who knew pathetic non-magical humans could be so easily manipulated?
Doesn't give you a right to kill the rest of the world.
I haven't killed anyone.
That fire? You wanted that dagger too. What did you do to it?
I didn't do a thing, dear. I've only done what is needed to be done. Some decisions are far too important. I've seen how people treated us. Blamed us for this war, burned my fellow witches at the stake, slaughtered vampires in their crypts, and euthanized the werewolves. Even the Fae themselves have retreated back to the Everplane. They're afraid they might be exploited by the non-magical folk. What I'm doing for them in Fort Kansas is a blessing. They're protected from the mobs who want to kill the witches, vampires, werewolves, and other Fae, and along with being protected from the cleansing, and that will complete at midnight this very evening. It's what's best for them, whether they know it or not.
And who are you to make that decision?
Some
Yeah.
decisions are far too important.
Do they feel that way about it, or do they feel like you're prisoners?
So, tell me, what would you do then? Throw open the gates at Fort Kansas, set them all free?
Well, yeah. Let them go back to their lives.
So they can be slaughtered, burned at the stake, killed, burned, tortured, slaughtered.
There are other ways to stop that. There are other ways to fix this.
I mean, have you stayed within the conditions that you're keeping them? I think you should do some time out there while they do some time out here. And then see kind of what goes on and if your opinion changes.
Oh, I've seen what can go on. The world has not changed in the past 2 years. Inside of Fort Kansas, the supernaturals are safe. They're alive. You turn them out, they'd all be dead in but a week. Tell me, who's the savior and who's the monster now?
The one who gives the human a living being a choice.
Yeah, I think a lot of people value freedom over just being alive or dead.
Sarah's gonna speak up like, I agree with her. But Lady Tremaine, I mean.
What?
See? Rational thought. Was it my understanding that there was some type of vampire burning in New Orleans? That couldn't possibly have anything to do with you.
Just like the murdering of innocent had anything to do.
You gave them no choice.
And the humans gave the magic users no choice either.
So we're at a stalemate.
So ending the world is your solution for this?
It's not my plan, it's Xavier's. He's going to cleanse the world and be rebuilt in the vision of Oknos.
And you trust that Xavier has your best interest in heart and mind?
Absolutely. Fort Kansas has proven safe and effective against the cleansing. Do you think this is the first time the cleansing has ever happened on Everas?
Oh.
But if you are not there, ensuring the safety of all of these magic users you have thrown at the feet of Xavier, how do you know they are not being mistreated by him right now?
Because I know what happens in my own sanctuaries, my dear. Thorn is there governing them all.
And where's our friends? How are they doing?
Oh, do you want to meet them? I'd be happy to show you Fort Kansas myself.
Mira shuts up.
Cat got your tongue.
So you imprison them and take them to Fort Kansas, where you think you'd give them their happily ever after in chains? What are you using them for? Because that doesn't sound right to me.
Chains? Who said anything about chains? Fort Kansas is a utopia.
Really? And you call it Fort Kansas? That sounds military.
Well, it once was.
I, for one, would like to see it if that offer still stands.
Just be forewarned, no one ever leaves Fort Kansas.
Why can't they leave?
The cleansing's happening, darling. Something that you did. You're destroying the world.
No.
Yes.
I didn't set that fire, you did.
Yes, and it was only continue from now on. The tsunami, the earthquake, the tornado. It'll all end, and the world will be reborn. Thanks to you, Willa.
I didn't start the fire, you did.
Okay. A fire entered the whole world. Please. You and I both know that I'm not the only thing that's going to be happening for this cleansing. I didn't start the earthquake, the tsunami, or the tornado, now did I? I was only helping it move along.
So many people are going to die because of you.
So many people have already died because of what they fear in us.
So you're just proving them right by instilling this exact same fear and enforcing it.
Absolutely. Because I am in power. They come brawling to me.
That's where it is, right? It's the power. You just want power, and you've since manipulated what you believe to be history and the stories that you tell in order to maintain this power.
I find you very intelligent. Absolutely. I've no shame about that. Everyone knows that I want power.
So shouldn't the power-hungry and corrupt be the ones inside of Fort Kansas?
I can go in and out if I please.
So what makes you different from everyone else? Why can't they leave?
I am the matriarch. I control Fort Kansas. Xavier's given that power to me.
And who is Xavier to bestow that?
Xavier is the ambassador of Oknos. He has the power of a god.
Really?
I'm sure that you don't have.
Not at the moment, but then again, I don't really find gods too appealing. I prefer living perseverance.
Funny that you mention living when you're already dead. Oknos created you. You owe him your life.
Leave him alone.
Funny you mention living when I wouldn't exactly call living in cages.
No one's in
existence.
cages. Where is this coming from? These chains, these cages. No one's ever seen Fort
The
Kansas.
literal words that you are saying is what this is implying, because if someone cannot leave, they're being forced to stay.
They can leave once the cleansing has happened.
I
The world will be rebuilt
apologize.
for them.
Tyler's decided now is a really good time to saw something in our bathroom.
You're fine.
I will be right back.
Tara, we'll go to you. You said leave him alone. He's the one that brought up the conversation, dear. Should I not reply to people who talk to me? Is that what you want, for me to shut up?
Well, yeah, actually, kinda.
Okay, I shall. She sits there and stares at you all with a grimace on her face.
Lily looks over at Tara, and then over to Sarah. Can I shoot her now?
No. The lives of all those magic users are in her hands.
You said this was a game. It's not much fun of a game if you don't explain the rules, Tremaine.
But now you're not gonna speak at all?
Is Xavier using you?
Am I have permission to talk, Tara?
Yes.
That's what I thought. Now, Mira, I love playing games. If you want to know the rules of the game, all you have to do is ask. And Sarah, I have heard from Xavier that he offered you a position in his court of knight and wanted you to join him. I think you'd fit in with us very well. The preservation of magic is our utmost importance of our mission.
Sarah, don't do it.
Sarah, why don't you listen to a human? The same humans that are killing our kind.
Okay, Tremaine.
Can't you tell they're the darkness?
Sorry?
I know you said sorry too. I didn't say anything.
I think Liz and Lauren had something to say.
Oh, I said, okay, shut up again, Tremaine. And then I said, Sarah, don't do it. Don't listen to her.
Lyra said to Sarah, can't you tell? There's darkness surrounding them. I know that I can't feel magic like you, but you have to be able to sense that.
Yeah, and I'm not just a human, I'm your friend, and I don't think this is a good idea. Don't listen to her.
Sarah is just gonna like turn her head back towards us because she's kind of in front of you guys, and she's gonna be like, I never said I was joining anybody. I already have my own alliances. But what she says is true. The humans have done terrible things, and what she's done has saved magic users.
For how long?
Who knows?
And to what end?
But what you said about darkness, there's darkness in everybody. There's darkness even you guys.
But she also said that she's serving the person who is claiming to be the ambassador of Oknos. The very embodiment of darkness.
To give her position after the cleansing.
Right.
I do ask of this. Where is your goddess now?
She is going to pale like nothing else.
That's what I thought. This world is all about Una this, Una that. Why is Ognos not getting any sort of light in the darkness? Why is darkness always bad? Darkness is self-preservation.
I mean, I guess that is kind of true.
Darkness also exists within you, Tara.
I know that. And Yuna never did anything to help me. But I still don't think Oknos needs to take over the world.
You mentioned the darkness inside of her. Who was that who put that in her, though? That once again was a choice thrust upon her by somebody else, exactly the same way that you were doing.
And
It
what
is
has
not
she-
her control of what has been done to her.
And what has she done to correct it, my dear?
I've tried.
Tried is not good enough.
Enough of this. We're not getting anywhere with her.
Fine.
You still haven't explained the rules of the game.
Tell me what you want to know.
What game is this?
Love, life, and death, my dear. If you want to survive, you'll join me in Fort Kansas until after the cleansing. And we can walk among the worlds as free women, reborn in the image of Oknos.
And what if we don't?
Perish.
with the apocalypse we started.
Right on the nose, my dear.
And that key, what did you do to it? Did you do anything to it, or was it us just taking it
Oh,
that
the
started
dagger.
it?
Just taking it starts the apocalypse, my dear. I just wanted to see if you truly had it or not. I didn't do a thing. I don't cheat, but I do play to win. And I've never lost a game before. You can ask Ella about that one. Where's your dear prince now? Ella looks white-faced at this whole thing, and she's staying very silent.
And what do we do with the dagger now? Is it just a fun toy to play with? Do we need to put it back for the next cleansing?
No. It will allow Okonos to come back to our world.
If we leave it out?
But if you put it back in... Sorry, my dear, but nothing happened. Besides, that tomb is collapsed and burnt to the ground probably by this point. Even if you wanted to return it, you wouldn't even have time. The cleansing happens at midnight tonight, and all of our fates are sealed.
Saying put it back there, but where does it go after Okonos comes back? Does he take it? Like, what happens to it? Where do we put it now?
You'll find out in due time. Xavier has plans for all of you.
What is this Court of Night? What's the Court of Night about? What are they doing?
The Court of Night is a band of heroes that Xavier has gotten together. We are in charge of making sure Okonos' return to Everas goes swimmingly.
Who else is on the Court of Night?
Wouldn't you like to know? Join me in Fort Kansas, I'll tell you everything. So no.
Lily looks at Mira, and she whispers, she's like, we have to go find WLF. We can't go with her.
Are they even still here? In all fairness. Actually, and she sort of like, you see this light bulb go off in her head, and it's like, if you have our friends, what happened to those who followed you?
What do you mean?
You didn't take everybody. There was a couple that went after you to get back our friends.
Oh, you're talking about Ray and her two friends.
Yeah.
I've dealt with them.
In what way?
Wouldn't you like to know?
I thought Sarah cast Charm Person on her.
Okay.
Beat a 15.
That would be a 21.
God damn it! I'm trying to make her tell the truth.
And so the magic gets sent at Lady Tremaine, and she looks back at Sarah, and she says, "You just tried to charm me." Oh dear. Well, I guess you all have chosen your sides. I guess it is time for you to die. Roll for initiative.
Hey, at least I didn't angrily shoot at her first.
You guys sure this is the right thing to do?
We have no choice.
No.
I hope so. I just got a nat 1 for initiative.
Gotta get him out of the way.
Alrighty. 15 through 20. Or 20 through 25. 15 through 20.
18.
10 through 15. 5 through 10.
Oh, sorry, I said 11.
8.
What will I get?
4.
Sarah, Tara, Trig, Willa, and Mira. I have Sarah at 37 out of 60 health. Tara at 48 out of 48. Trig 54 out of 87. Willa at full health of 54, and Mira at full health at 45.
Now, wanted to bring this up. When she did that healing spell, you mentioned that we were allowed to go over our max healing, getting closer to what we just got leveled up, correct?
Right, I thought
could
I was
go-
at...
Yeah, I was at 49.
I'm at 55, but as my max, but then the fire damage took me down to 51. I can roll 4.
Because if that is true, still sitting at 45 at full health, she'd be at 51.
Okay, so Sarah, what's your full health?
Well, right now I'm at 49 out of 60.
Tara?
I'm at 51 out of 55.
Trig?
66 out of 87.
Willa?
58 out of 62.
And Mira.
51 out of 53.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so we will start at Sarah.
Sarah's gonna cast Dimension Door on Lady Tremaine. Not Dimension Door, Banishment, I meant.
Okay.
She has to beat a 15 Charisma.
She uses Counterspell.
Gosh, shit. Okay.
She literally waves her hand and it gets sent back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sarah's just
I
gonna,
don't-
like, glare a little bit.
I don't think Counterspell doesn't send the spell back, correct?
I think it
No, it just
disperses
cancels it.
Okay. Next we have Tara.
Okay, I'm gonna go, shit, god damn it, Sarah. And I'm gonna run away from Tremaine, and I'm gonna use my crossbow, because I have a parasite, so that's a 17 to hit.
That's not a hit.
Fuck.
Anything else?
Nope, just gonna maybe try to hide.
There's no cover in this hall at all.
Okay, I'm just gonna stand there with my knees shaking then.
Trig?
Sorry, reading.
Fine.
Okay, we are going to try to banish her.
Taking my lead, see?
This is killing me. You guys keep casting banishment, and I can't use any of my 4th level spells yet to use banishment.
Oh, poor you. I can't use any of my spells.
You must succeed a charisma saving throw.
That damn parasite.
Okay, so let's see here. With Tremaine, it's a 16. Oh wait, hold on. Was this a spell of level 6 or lower?
Yes.
Magic immunity.
Oh, shit.
Sorry,
Does that mean I get to retry something else, or was that my
Nope.
turn? And
that's your turn, and you figured out that, oh shit, that spell did not work on her either. Alright. Next is Willa.
Okay, question. Is it Anastasia and, them two, or is it just Lady Tremaine?
It's just Lady Tremaine.
It's just Lady Tremaine, okay. 18.
Doesn't hit.
Fuck! Okay.
Mira?
Okay, quick question before I go with my turn. Is this considered still the same day as what happened with Nyx?
Yes.
Okay. Mira is going to go ahead and cast Bane on Tremaine, and hopefully she doesn't counterspell it. And she must succeed at a
What?
charisma saving throw of 14.
What level of magic is this?
It's just going to be a level 1.
Oh, she has magic immunity to anything below 6th level.
That means none of us can do anything. None of us have 6th level spells.
I didn't hear that.
I was wondering what you were doing. I was like, did she know?
No, I didn't hear that. Okay, she's going to do that, realize it's not doing shit, and is going to walk closer to Tara and is like, should we just do what we did with Nyx? In like a very low whisper.
I don't know. I mean, we don't have any portals this time, but we can't fight her. This is stupid. Should we run?
Oh, there'll be no running. We haven't got to play fair. So she is going to use Deathly Touch as her action. It's an automatic hit, reaches 5 foot to one target. Hit is 60 necrotic damage. The target must succeed on a DC 27 Constitution saving throw. Maximum is reduced by an amount equal to the damage taken. If the target dies, if the hit point maximum is reduced to 0, the reduction to this target's hit point maximum lasts until the target finishes a long rest. We'll say it's half damage. No. I said that I'm not holding back. First person who went after Tremaine was Sarah. She goes over to Sarah and she says, I thought we were going to be good friends. And she casts Deathly Touch.
What the roll?
It's an automatic hit. You have to succeed on a DC 27 Constitution saving throw.
DC 27, what's that?
Like you have to beat above a 27 Constitution saving throw.
Oh, I got a 22, so no.
So you're going to be taking 60 points of necrotic damage.
60?
6-0.
I'm dead.
Deathly Touch.
Wait, is dead?
Nope. She's knocked to 0 health points.
Yeah,
Okay.
She gets...
I'm unconscious. I can't say anything witty.
And so Anastasia and Drizella, they're like, Mother, you're so bad. And Tremaine, she's like, who's next? We'll go back up to Sarah. Go ahead and roll your saving throw. What'd you get? Oh, wait. Yep.
17, sorry.
Okay.
I muted myself 'cause I was dead. I was like, nobody can hear me anymore.
Alright.
I had said stuff too. Shit.
Tara?
I'm gonna look at Willa and Mira and Drake and say, what should we do? I don't know what to do. We can't fight her.
You only get one response during this 2 seconds. Or 6 seconds. What do you guys respond to Tara?
I'm gonna keep trying.
Mira's eyes are locked on Sarah.
Craig? Do you respond to Tara?
She says we can't leave.
Alright, Tara, what would you like to do?
Fuck. I have no idea. I guess I'll try again with my crossbow. It's only a 14 to hit.
That doesn't not hit?
I know. I'm just gonna move as far away from her as I can with all of my movement. I'm just gonna GTFO as much as I can.
Okay. Trig. Allie?
See, I'm sitting here talking to myself. Stupid question, because I'm a dumb D&D player. If I get my Channel Divinity at 3rd level, could I cast that at my current level, which would be 7, which would then beat her immunity? Would that work?
I'd say so.
Okay.
Wait, is this from your level up?
It would put me at level 6 if it was not from my level up. So I'd cast it at level 6.
Yeah. Tremaine can't be affected by spells of 6th level or lower. Unless he
Motherfucking
wishes to
son
be.
of a bitch. No, I rolled this just in case.
Okay.
So I got a 23 to hit.
Still not a hit.
Oh my fucking god.
Willa.
She said she's gonna keep trying. Okay, no.
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 Mira.
Mira's going to run over to Sarah and grab her and is going to start dragging her away with as much movement as she can possibly do to do that. And while doing that, cast Spare the Dying.
Okay, that's fine.
So, congrats. You are now stable.
Yay!
At 1 health point?
At 0, I think still, right?
Still at 0,
Okay.
so she's stable. And
Okay.
dragging her, I'm only going half my speed,
Half,
correct?
15 feet, yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I managed to get 15 feet away from her.
So, Tremaine, she gets in the center of you all. She's within 15 feet of pretty much all of you. And she's like, all right, let's play this game my way. And she casts Disrupt Life. Each creature within 60 feet of Tremaine must make a DC 27 Constitution saving throw, taking 39 necrotic damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one.
What do
What's
we have to succeed at?
A 27 Constitution saving throw.
No.
So I got a nat 20, and my Constitution save is 7, which puts me at 27. And I think because I'm a vampire, I either have immunity or I would take half necrotic. I can't remember which one.
I think you have, as undead, you have immunity to necrotic damage.
Okay. So I'm fine then, right?
I got a whopping 9.
Probably safe to assume that everyone got
Yeah.
below
No way.
27.
How much was the damage?
39.
Oh,
Or 10 d12.
I'll take the 39.
no. I'll take 39.
Sarah's down again. We should have rolled up, but. Ow. Summer is literally dying.
Tara, what are you at?
51 minus 39. I don't know, math.
She's at 12, along with Mira.
Oh, good.
12, yep.
Good, 12.
Willow, what are you at?
19.
And then check your fine. Oh, and she also regained 50 health points at the start of her turn, but
Good God.
she hasn't taken any damage.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make a point about this battle.
We can't run.
We haven't tried.
I'm a master, I promise. Alright, back on top at Sarah with your saving throw.
19.
There you go, you got one. Alrighty, Tara.
I think we should try to run, guys.
You might be right.
I'm gonna try
Run
to
for
run
it.
for it. I'm gonna try to run. I'm out.
Okay, you can only move 30 feet. There's still about 120 feet left in this long corridor. Next is Trick. We can't hear you.
Because I'm not saying anything. I'm deciding what I want to do. Oh god.
Okay, so we're gonna come back to you. Willa, go ahead.
Okay.
Is there a chandelier
There are
or anything that above us looks like it is? Because the point of the town is very decrepit. Everything looks like it's falling apart.
except for the
Is there anything? Huh?
except for the castle.
I was in and out during that explanation. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a chandelier above us?
Yes, there are 3.
Is there one close to Lady Tremaine?
There's these chandeliers are literally covering the entire area. So yes, but you're also within 15 feet of her. But try it.
Will's gonna go for it. She's gonna shoot at the chandelier.
Roll AC.
At the chain. Okay.
What'd you get?
15.
Yep, that's a hit. What's your damage?
4.
Okay. So you shoot an arrow up into the chandelier, and you hear it hit the chain link that's holding up the chandelier. Trig, you ready? Allie?
Okay, again, stupid D&D question.
Okay.
So, second level spell, if I cast that at my current... Okay, I'm looking at Find Steed. If I cast it at my current, would that then allow me to carry X amount of people, or would that still only be for me?
It's still only for you.
Well, son of a bitch, I guess we're trying to run, then. So, I'm gonna take off in the direction of Terra.
Okay. Mira?
Mira's gonna continue to try to drag Sarah away, and once again cast Spare the Dying. Just like, you cannot die. I will not let anybody else die.
So, Lady Tremaine, she looks at you all. I mean, she's seeing the terror that is Tara and Trig as they're running away, and seeing that Sarah's unconscious and Mira's trying, and notices Willa trying to get the chandelier, and she's like, I thought we were all having fun. But if you want to all speak like adults, I'd be more than happy to.
Adults?
The attitude again.
Are you
Never
serious?
mind. You're dying.
Yes, we want to speak like adults.
Okay. We can do civil. And she casts Cure Wounds on Sarah.
Thank God.
You can roll your own health on that.
What is Cure Wounds again?
Cure Wounds is 1d8 plus whatever her spell casting modifier is.
Okay. Yeah, my 9.
No, you should be able to do more. Her spellcasting.
I think it's by level.
She cast it at a higher level for her. Level 3.
Oh. So 3d8 plus whatever, is she wisdom based?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm at 16. I roll low.
Now, we've all seen what power I have, and you do remember when I took in Ella's power and Fiona and my 2 daughters' powers as well. Like, I am the matriarch of my coven. I'm probably one of the most powerful witches on this planet. That's why Xavier had me go into the Order of Night. You really think that 5 little heroes are going to stop me?
Willa holds her tongue.
Sarah's gonna be on her hands and knees, kind of panting, and be like, look up kind of lazily, be like, where's Xavier?
Ozendor, my child. Ozendor.
Take us there.
Take one of you.
Why only one?
Because I think only one of you has proven themselves possible.
What do you mean by that?
I would like to take Mira.
Why?
I think she needs to visit some family.
Her face goes absolutely pale. And it's just out of a barely a whisper. It's like, I have no family.
Or so you thought. Choice is now.
She is shaking. She is like uncontrollably shaking right now.
Sarah, with like her like most regal formal voice as she could be right now, and like gonna turn up and be like, go.
I'm gonna whisper it to Mira and say, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do.
You are too far away from Mira to
Oh,
whisper
never
that.
mind. Okay, JK.
I have no other family. This is my family, and this is who I'm going to stay with.
Fair. But if your Fae friend wants to go, then I do know Xavier wants to speak to her.
She's just gonna look at Sarah with like these pleading eyes and is like, don't do it. We have sworn to your mother that we will help you in everything that you will do. But leaving us in the dust and going into the lion's den is not what you need to be doing right now. She's gonna muster as much like authority in her voice as possible while still shaking.
Before Sarah can answer Lady Tremaine question or like invitation, I guess is what you could say, the castle starts to grumble. The floor starts to vibrate, and Tremaine she goes over to her daughters and grabs their hand. She's like, "Oh, but the next cataclysm is coming. We'll be safe in Fort Kansas, but you all didn't want to join. Have fun dying." And she teleports out of the hall. You
Tremaine
She's
does
gonna be
it
like, wait. After she leaves, obviously.
What'd you say, Mira?
Tremaine teleports, or
Yes, Tremaine and Anastasia and Drizella, they teleport out of the hall.
Okay.
And then as this happens, the entire stained glass shards crash into the hall as this huge gust of violent wind moves forward and gusts all of this I don't even like debris, and you can see on the outside of the castle there is this darkening cloud that is right outside of the castle. And then a streak of lightning flashes across the sky, and you see it. A huge tornado is barreling straight towards the castle.
Sarah's going to chuckle and be like, I didn't do that.
This tornado ravages parts of the castle, and eventually you start to see debris and the chandelier that Willa had tried to shoot swaying. You all start to run for cover, trying to find a place to hide in this ongoing rumbling. All of a sudden, the castle walls start crumbling in. Dust and debris is going everywhere. You look to see your friends' bright eyes as this sheer terror is ravaging this part. And then a huge gust of wind pulls you into the cyclone, and your vision goes black. When you awake, it is daytime. The silence of this area is deafening. Bruised, bloodied, hurt, scarred, scraped. Your clothes are torn, and you're seeing bits of castle sunken into the earth, and you finally, when the time comes, you realize where you are. You are along a sandy beach. The waves hit up onto the shoreline, and you all are lined up. All 5 of you. Ella is not here. And eventually, you're able to come to your senses. And through headache, through nausea, through whatever you're going through, you finally feel the whole world stopping to spin. You finally feel yourself mellowed out. What do you do?
Mira's gonna puke whatever's in her guts onto the beach.
I think I'm gonna curl up in a ball and cry a little bit.
Sarah's just going to walk out into the water and literally scream as angry as she can and fall to her knees.
Willa sits up, and she holds her knees to her chest as tight as she can, and she doesn't look like she has an emotion on her face. She looks broken and blank and numb as she watches Sarah scream in the water.
Trig is going to sit up, pull his knees up, rest his arms on his knees, and just kind of look around and like, motherfucker. And then he will actually probably go after Sarah and stand there behind her, just kind of like waiting for her to be done.
Sarah's just really upset. I don't know, like, what she's going through is more like she failed as a protector, I guess, of the forest. Not so much the people.
Yeah.
She's just letting it come all out finally, because she would have gone with them to save everybody else.
Fair.
Do we recognize anything else? The sandy beach? An
There
island?
is nothing at all familiar about this beach.
Now, are we on like an island, or are we just on the beachy side of?
It is a tropical environment.
But like, is there anything behind us? Like,
Oh, yeah,
it
yeah,
was when we were landed near the jungle the first time. I would say after Mira's done retching out her entire stomach content, she's probably going to sort of sit cross-legged in the middle of the group and like sort of like, it's hard to tell if she's swaying back and forth from just sheer like panic and emotion, or if it's some part of the spell she's trying to cast. But she is going to go ahead and let me find it. Cast Prayer of Healing, which I believe actually uses up my last level 2 spell. But she's going to spend the next 10 minutes doing Prayer of Healing.
Okay.
Back into her weird, like, celestial type, just muttering to herself.
Right.
While she's doing that, Tara's gonna just kind of scoot closer and like sit up against Mira's side and just sit with her. Still crying, not saying anything. But just maybe like lean up against her a little bit.
Okay.
Sarah looks at Treg. And she sighs and she's like, do you know where we are?
He'll kind of like start rubbing Sarah's back, kind of trying to calm her down, and he'll kind of look over his shoulder at Willa, and I have no fucking clue.
Well, once the prayer is done, everybody takes 8 points of healing.
I'll take it. Honestly.
Right, at this point.
Thanks very much.
I'll take a point of healing. I'm at 24. Ow. She's still not okay. Sarah's gonna finally like take a deep breath and like zen herself for a moment, and then she's gonna stand up and just nod to Trig as like she's okay, and then look back at. Hopefully, she sees green and not burned forest.
She definitely sees green. It is very tropical, very green, very lush. Plants and flowers. It's a sight to behold. If you were in different circumstances, this might be a nice place to relax and get a suntan.
Beach day.
Yeah.
Didn't you say we need a beach scene?
Yeah, always need a beach scene. I've never gone through a beach scene before.
I will say, Mira's sort of oblivious to everything going around her, so she doesn't actually recognize that Tara's sitting next to her. But as she finishes the Prayer of Healing, she's going to continue just very quietly. It's hard to tell if she's praying or just babbling in Celestial.
Tara's just gonna lean her head on Mira's shoulder.
She will flinch at first, like she's being pulled out of something, and then like sort of relax when she realizes it's just Tara. Look at muttering.
Lila's gonna stand up now, and she's gonna take inventory. Like, do they have the weapons? Do they have their bags, personal belongings, and stuff like that, or no?
Everything that was on your body when you were swept away is still on your body.
Okay. Now Lily would have had her bow on her. Is that so? Okay. She starts to look around to see where they are. Notice any interesting landmarks, if there's anything that looks like a town nearby, if there's something. Is it just like an ocean of water? Is it a big lake? Can she see anything on the other side? She wants to just do a general investigation check of their surroundings.
I would roll a perception check. That's very vague to be a specific.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, 15 plus 2, 17.
Alright, so what you can see is that there seems to be an endless ocean of clear crystal blue skies. You see that from behind you, there is a large central-looking mountain that comes to a peak. There is a beautiful cascading waterfall that comes off of the mountainside. You're kind of surrounded in a cliffed bay, where there's like this beautiful ocean that kind of goes up to the shore and back out. Most of the lush jungle is just beyond the rock kind of landscape that separates the beach, the rocks to the jungle. There doesn't seem to be really any civilizations that you can see of right now.
Great, we're back in the jungle. A tornado took us all the way across the ocean, probably, and we're back in the jungle. Willa starts breaking down.
Letting Willa have a bit of a moment now that Sarah has kind of signaled that she's okay. He's going to walk over to Tara and Mira kind of crouch down in front of them. Like, hey, are you guys okay? And
You want to go first? Because Mira's not okay.
Tara kind of lifts her head off of Mira's shoulders and hugs her knees close to her chest and just kind of shakes her head, still crying.
Mira's going to... She's sort of losing her grip a little bit, so like half of what she's muttering is in Common, and half of it's still in Celestial. It's like back and forth, like she's trying to answer, but she's not quite there yet, and all you can get out of her is she never answers.
Tara's gonna wipe her tears and say, are you okay? To Trig.
I've had worse.
Worse than the end of the world.
Isn't technically the end of the world dying?
I don't know if that's true.
At least we get to spend the end of the world on this beautiful jungle. And of course, we couldn't go with Lady Tremaine and be all safe because, no, she's filled with darkness, and we couldn't do that because we're supposed to be fighting the darkness. And what the hell, Sarah? Why did you want to go with her?
Sarah's going to look up at you guys, still like a little beaten, like writhing, and she's going to be like, to save you all.
To save us? That doesn't sound like you're going to save us. It sounded like you were going to join them and have your little pity party with Okanos and not going to save the world at all and just going along with their plan. What are we even going to do? We're stuck on this probably island because this crazy tornado came out of nowhere. And what are we going to do? We lost our other half of the group. We're alone again. We have no way of communicating with them. What are we going to do? What are we going to do?
Tara starts crying harder and she says, Willa, stop.
Trig's gonna stand up and turn around to her and say, Sarah wasn't the only one that asked to go with her. Before everything started with her, I know I asked a couple times. Plus, you don't know what situation we're in. There could be civilization on the other side of those trees, so unless you're willing to go walk through those trees, right now, I suggest you take a deep breath and calm down till we can all kind of figure out our next step together.
Trig is right, and just leave Sarah alone. We have to stay together. You guys are all I have. We're all each other has. We have to just stick together. Stop.
Sarah's just going to be like, it's okay. I can take a beating. I'm pretty old. My sister, they have, 8 of them. So, I was going to go because it's walking right into the lion's den. Xavier is where I wanted to be this entire time, no matter what. It'd be a faster route to him. A faster route to end this. That's all. But that doesn't
So
matter.
you're going to kill Xavier?
No, I wasn't going to get killed.
By yourself?
I never said kill him. I said question him. I still need him alive.
To do what?
Question him. There's something he's not telling us.
Probably something about the gate, the darkness, Okanos? I don't know, any one of those 3. And I remember last time when you talked to him, you kind of were like agreeing with him and being like, yeah, that sounds pretty right. You know what? Even when you were talking with Lady Tremaine, you sounded like you were going to side with her. And yeah, you could say, oh yes, you were going into the lion's den to question them and blah, blah, blah. You know what? I've had it. So yes, I'm going into the jungle. Bye.
Alright, I'll walk with you.
The minute that she said Gate of Oknos, Mira is sort of going to snap out of whatever funk she was in and look slightly terrified and worried at Tara and just be like, do you still have the dagger?
I think so, and I'm gonna check and rummage through my bag, but I keep all of my gear on my person, so.
The dagger's still there.
Yeah, I have it. Why?
She's just going to breathe a sigh of relief and it's like, well, at least one thing went right. If this is still needed to bring back Oknos, and we have it, and we are somewhere, nowhere close to them, hopefully, then it just means it's harder for them to bring him back, right?
Right. Good. Yeah, that's good. Yep.
Trig is gonna try to usher Willa into the jungle, like, yeah, let's take a walk.
Willa follows Trig.
Mira. Should we go with them? I don't know what to do.
You shouldn't split up.
I don't want to go back in the jungle.
Probably safer there.
I don't know if we have a choice. We can't sit here. At this point, it's a game of survival. We're not going to find food. We're not going to find shelter. We are sitting ducks in targets at this point.
I don't know about you, but I'm still pretty hurt. Is there anything else we can do to heal first?
I don't have much. Hold on. And she's going to reach over and go ahead and cast Cure Wounds. And I might regret this, but is going to go ahead and cast it at 3rd level. So, hold on a second. You get 13 points of healing.
So when you cast this spell, you see your normal magics that you would typically see come out of your hands or amulet or whatever. It's different. This magic almost seems colorful. Your normal like kind of brighter lights of like warm yellows and reds and oranges. It's like a spectrum of colors, almost like when light shines through like a crystal or glass, like creates that rainbowy effect. You see that come out of you, and that's not something you normally have seen.
She freezes and sort of like looks back and forth, looks up at Tara, and just backs away a step.
Thank you. What was that? What's happening?
She's just gonna run her hands through her hair, and it's like, I don't know.
Does the spell work and feel as normal?
Let's just go. And she's going to sort of like hands by her side in pockets, like look extremely uncomfortable again, and start walking.
Yeah, Tara's gonna kind of hug her arms around herself and just kind of head down, sort of defeatedly walk at Mira's side.
Sarah, are you the last to leave the beach?
Yeah, she's gonna like really follow behind because she's giving them space because she feels like everybody's blaming her for some reason. So she's gonna be like, okay, let them like work it out themselves. She's still very stubborn.
So, as you're looking out along the coastline of this ocean, this endless cerulean sea, you see something splash in the water. It's larger than a normal fish. It breaks the surface and then quickly dives behind a rock that is kind of protruding in this cove area. It was too quick to see, but you definitely noticed something was there.
Sarah's gonna stop in her tracks, look back to the group, not say anything, and cast water walking on herself. And she's gonna walk towards that way.
Sure. So same thing. You're normally seeing whatever type of magic that you're used to. You're seeing this bright, rainbowy, glittering type of magic erupt out of you as you cast this water walk. You kind of like walk over the waves as it's crashing against, and rolling and stuff as it goes into the cove. And you go up to the rock, and there is nothing behind it. But then you turn around, and you hear another splash behind another rock.
Just gonna turn again and like kind of get in like a not primal position, like kind of like a little kid with a dog. But like, it's okay. I'm not going to hurt you. She's gonna say to the ocean.
You hear giggling. Female giggling. There are a circle of rocks kind of in this cove area. And then you see a female's head slowly rise up as it kind of pulls herself up over the rock. And she looks like very sweetly at you. And then she says, "Oh, a game? We love games."
So I'm just gonna like scoff, like, oh, what could I call a mermaid as a fae?
Silesian is their like name, like in their language, Silesian.
All right. Oh, Silesian, how the day has been. I don't know if games would be fun. How did you come to be here? Was there a giant wave?
No, my sisters and I have always been here. And you start to see two other women kind of peer behind the rocks as they kind of swim and splash, and you see their tail kind of pull out of the water. One gets up on the rock and starts combing her hair and being very vain and looking at a reflection in the waves. The other one just kind of like sneaks up and like lays like belly up, like kind of floats there, and she's like, "We don't get many humans here."
Sarah's gonna chuckle and be like, "Don't worry." And she's like, "I'm not human. They're on the shore."
What are you then?
What'd you say?
What are you then?
I am part of the Fae. As yourself?
Yes, we are the mermaids of Mermaid Lagoon.
Ah, so that's who we are. Mermaid Lagoon. Nice to know.
You don't know where you are?
Well, we all kind of woke up unconscious on a beach after a tornado, which I didn't cause, I swear, nor did Eleanor. Swept us here.
Huh. Most people come here by Pan's flight.
Pan?
Oh, Peter. He's just a little boy who likes to fly around with this stinky little pixie named Tinkerbell. She's always trying to ruin our fun.
Pixies can be like that. They can only feel one emotion, you know?
Attitude is hers.
Where could we find this Tinkerbell? She's more interested in Tinkerbell than Peter.
She's usually hanging around Peter at the Hangman's Tree. They have a hideout with him and his Lost Boys. But he's been gone for quite some time now. We miss him.
Do you know where he could have gone?
He flies to a place called London sometimes. He brings back
Sounds-
stories. They're absolutely boring.
London sounds like a very boring place.
I'm glad you understand, sister. And she like dives underwater and then like splashes up and sits next to her other sister on the rock. So, what are your plans being here in Neverland? You said you had other friends. We'd love to play with them.
I do have other friends, if I can even call them that now. They went into the jungle to
Ooh.
look for civilization, but I guess it's in the ocean. Silly.
They won't find much. There's Blind Man's Bluff. That's typically where the Lost Boys like to hang out. Gull Rock, haunted, I hear, which is just over there. And she points. You see in the distance of the ocean, there's this large jutting skull rock out in the ocean that literally looks like a decaying skull. And then
Homie.
you have the natives' camp on the northeast side of the island. We don't dare go over there. Princess Tiger Lily is not very fond of us mermaids. And then, one of the most fearsome creatures here is a pirate who calls himself Captain Hook. He goes in the Jolly Roger on the other side of the island in Cannibal Cove.
Sounds meaty. Cannibal Cove. Are these inhabitants all human?
Unfortunately, there are some pixies and other magical creatures that live here on the island with us. There is a crocodile, I should say. He's large and in charge of the water.
Aren't you scared of him? Being in this water?
Nope, we're much too fast for him. And also, he doesn't pay us much mind. As long as we're good to him, he keeps the waters normal and steady and clear for us.
Oh, sounds like the kind of balance our world needs.
Your world? Where are you from? You're not from London, are you?
No, actually, I've never heard of really London until you mentioned it. It just sounded dreary. I'm from a place called Hollowroot. Do you know it?
Hollowroot. Never heard of it.
What continent is this?
Continent? Well, this is Neverland.
How do you, is this the only landmass here?
Of course. The way you can get off the island is by flying to the second star on the right, head straight on till morning, or if you know one of us mermaids, we can travel through the realms. Mermaids have that ability. We call them slipstreams.
Is there a slipstream near here?
It's been lost for a long time. Us mermaids, well, we used to be part of a kingdom called Atlantica. But the slipstream worked for a long time, and then eventually it's almost like the magic dried up, and we're stuck here. The weird thing is, I feel like I've been here forever, but I haven't grown a day. Strange. In fact,
It's not too bad.
I don't think I've seen anyone ever grow up here. Weird.
Well, if you're like me and where I'm from, that is quite weird, I guess. But I guess in a human stance, that is freakish.
I'm glad you understand. Oh, won't you join us? Join us in the water.
Just gotta like step around a little bit and be like, she's gonna like create like splash water and create a rainbow like a summer's day, and kind of be like the sun. Be like, here, I'll play with you, toy along with them.
It's beautiful. Oh, sisters, look, she's so artistic. Well, listen, my name is Marina. I am a sister of Shelly Mae. And that one over there is Coral. And she looks at the prettiest one of all the mermaids with blonde hair. She's not wearing any, like, breasts. Like, her tits are fully out. And that one over there, the one that's brooding and dark, the one who doesn't have a tail like us, but tentacles, her name is Ursula.
Well,
She's
it's a
one of our
pleasure to meet you all.
sisters. So nice to meet you, but we have mermaid things to attend to, like singing and making sure her hair looks beautiful when Ben returns. But you're more than welcome to Mermaid Lagoon anytime you want.
Well, thank you. I do hope you catch some offset man on the way with your lovely voice. And she winks.
That would be nice. Well, it was very nice meeting you. What did you say your name was?
My name's Sarah.
It was a pleasure to meet you, Sarah. I'll have to ring you up on my shell phone sometime.
I don't have a shell to be rung up with.
Oh, if you find the prettiest one on the beach, and not only can you hear the ocean, but the ocean can hear you too. Also, if you find little starfish, you can put them in your ears on your lobes, and they give you compliments all throughout the day.
Oh, that sounds actually quite nice, actually, after the day we just had. I have a few people that could probably use that.
Well, if you find them, press them onto your earlobes. I'm sure they'd be happy to give you compliments all day.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the information as well. This seems like a very lovely place, and if you do find a slipstream, definitely ring me up, because there are things I need to do to save this, probably not your world, it doesn't seem like they're connected at all, but save a different world.
Okay, sure. Good luck with saving your world.
Thanks.
And they all start like giggling, and then they jump into the water, leaving you alone. By this time, all your friends have been standing on the beach, just like, what the? They can't see these mermaids from the rocks. They just see you standing there and like splashing and making like they weren't able to see these mermaids. And you eventually come back to shoreline as they're all like, "Hello."
Sarah's gonna pick up a shell, a conch shell, be like, and just look at it, like ignoring him. And she's like, "So we're at a place called Neverland," and she's gonna put it up to her ear. Over there, she's gonna point at Skull Rock. That's that homemade place over there is called Skull Rock. This is Mermaid Cove. Somewhere in the middle, there is Lost Boys. Pixies are here too. Apparently, their leaders, Tinkerbell and a Peter Pan, who goes to a place called London, which sounds horrible. There are pirates here at Cannibal Cove, which sounds pleasantly delicious. You know, his name is Hook, is the captain, as well as a natives with a Princess Tiger Lily. Sounds crazy, but apparently they get off this island. We have to fly somehow and venture to the second star to the right and straight on till morning. So maybe we have to leave in the morning and his head to the stars. But yeah, so I don't know what we should do now. They all sound like terrible places on this island.
As the shell is held up to her ear, Marina, she's like, "I thought I just told you all that. Call me later, hon. Bye."
Sorry. Oh, and there's a crocodile in the water that protects things, apparently.
I've had my fair share of crocodiles for a lifetime.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm not such a fan myself.
Well, I guess we should go find something that can that flies on this island and capture it somehow, or at least get some more information on how to fly off this island. That's my best point. If we could find somebody who knows more about this Peter Pan fella, and definitely Tinkerbell, I think it'd be great. That's yeah.
All right, so I think we're gonna end it here. I
Okay.
just feel like this is a good place to kind of
I actually get to end a session? What?
right, finally. Let me see here. Oh, is this not gonna play? There we go.
Let me just say, Peter Pan was my favorite movie for pretty much my whole childhood.
Good.
And I